Morning, students. I hope you all are having fun at home. But study is also necessary. So let's start our first computer chapter on your computer story. Learning objectives. Today we are going to study about generations of computers and components used, classification of computers. Generations. What is generation? In your family, your grandparents, your parents, and then you. So that is generations. Similarly, when we talk about devices, the term generations denotes improvement in any product or technology. Let's understand. As the human generation progressed, the devices used by them also became increasingly advanced. For example, when we talk about communication, your grandfather, they used pen and ink for writing, and they used to write letters and send them to their friends and relatives. Your father, he used landline phones for communication. And you, the new generation, you're using computers for doing your calculations, you're using your phone for email, for calling, for chatting. So you can see as the generation progressed, so has our devices for communication. Generations of computers. There are five generations, categorized based on technology development and its effect in the way of operation of the computer. Look at these. First generation. The first generation computers were developed in 1940s and that era lasted till 1956. The parts which were used in first generation were vacuum tubes. They were very large in size, they were very slow in performance, and they generated a lot of heat, so it required a lot of maintenance and also air conditioning. Examples of first generation computers are ENIAC, UNIVAC, IBM 701, IBM 650. Second generation. Second generation was from 1956 to 1963. These generation used transistor. They were faster in speed, they were smaller in size than the first generation computer, and they used magnetic tapes and punch cards to store data. See, first generation computers were not storing the data. Now, for example, IBM 7090, IBM 7094, UNIVAC 1108. Third generation. Third generation computers were from 1964 to 1971. They used integrated circuits. What is integrated circuit? Means a circuit is prepared by integrating multiple transistors in a single unit. They were faster in speed, they were quite small in size, and they could do more complex work than just mathematical calculations. The examples were IBM 370 and Apple I. Fourth generation. From 1971 to present, yes, we are using some of the fourth generation computers. They used VLSI microprocessors. What is VLSI? VLSI is very large scale integration. So again, microprocessors are chips in which thousands of transistors are combined on based on a circuit into a single chip. These are faster than previous generation, obviously. They are smaller in size. They are lightweight, so they are portable. You can move them from one place to another easily. And We are currently using fourth generation computers. IBM PC, Apple Mac, HP 3000 series are some examples of fourth generation computers. Fifth generation, present and beyond. So the computers which are getting created now and the technologies which are getting used now, those are all part of fifth generation of computers. Main focus is on artificial intelligence. So we are making the device smarter so that they can take decisions based on the data they have. It is still in development stage. Robots are one of the example of fifth generation computer. Now let's go to classification of computers. The computers are classified into following categories based on their size and speed: microcomputers, mini computers, mainframe computers, and supercomputers. Microcomputers. Microcomputers. Look at this picture. Isn't it something that we are using now? Yes, it is. A microcomputer is one of the smallest computers. These have microprocessor CPU. That is, it contained a single integrated circuit chip. So there is only one processor chip in the CPU box. It is also known as personal computer or PCs. Now the types of PCs: desktop, laptop, tablet, smartphone. You all are aware of those. Nowadays, we also have wearable computers, something like watches. We have microprocessor chips embedded in them like we have in our CPUs. These can also be used to access basic functionalities such as email, multimedia, calendar, etc. Mini computer. Look at this device. That is a mini computer. These came in 1960. They were less expensive than mainframe computer, but they were very powerful than microcomputer. They work similar to the concept of mainframe computer. These are also known as mid-range servers. Nowadays, these are scarcely used as PCs have become equally powerful and compact on the daily routine basis, but again these computers are being used in small organizations. Mainframe computer. Look at this mainframe computer. Isn't it looking like very big? Mainframe computers all are very powerful and huge computers. Many users can connect and work on these at the same time. The users connect to it through terminals. Look here. These are terminals. These are a combination of keyboard and a screen integrated together. These are also referred as enterprise servers. Supercomputer. Look at this picture. That's our Param Yuva 2, India's fastest supercomputer. These are the most powerful computers. It uses multiple CPUs to work on a problem using parallel processing. Now, what is parallel processing? Parallel processing is working on one problem or one program with help of multiple CPUs. These are used for highly calculation intensive tasks जिसमें ज़्यादा calculation की requirement होती है, such as weather forecasting, climate research, physical simulation, nuclear energy research, scientific data processing, etc. Param Yuva 2 was developed by CDEC, Center of Development of Advanced Computing. And as I told you, it is the India's fastest supercomputer. Let's compare all the four types of computers that we have discussed so far. Microcomputer, it came into existence in 1970. It generally has one microprocessor. It is smallest in physical size and its capacity is normally in GBs. Again, nowadays we are getting computers and laptops with spaces in TB as well. This is cheapest in the out of these four. Only one user, most of the time, only one user at a time can work on these computers. We see them at home, schools, and offices. IBM PC, Apple Mac, the Intel series that we are using, HP series that we are using, that is also example of microcomputer. Mini computer. Mini computers history goes back to 1960. They started making mini computers in 1960. Multiple components are there. They have two or more processing units or processors. Again, the physical size is small and the capacity, or you can say the storage capacity, is in terabytes. They are cheap. When we say cheap, means they are cheaper than mainframe computers and supercomputers. At a time, two to thousands of users can connect on one mini computer. It is basically used in universities, business, small business institutes, and departments of large companies. Examples are VAX 8800, MV 1500. Mainframe computer. The mainframe computer era began in 1975. They have several separate units of processors and their storage capacity is the largest among these. I mean, the mainframe computer can even store data more than supercomputer because the mainframe computers can be divided and placed at multiple places. The capacity of this is in PBs, petabytes. They are expensive. Hundreds to thousands users can connect to a mainframe computer system at a time. They are used in large organizations like banks, government facilities, etc. IBM 370, NEC, these are some examples of mainframe computers. Supercomputer. The first supercomputer was built in 1970. Although it was not as fast as nowadays microcomputer, but that was the first one built. But in 1980s, the supercomputer really came into picture. It also has several separate functional units, or you can say microprocessors. It is largest. Generally, when you compare mainframe computer and supercomputer, it seems largest in the size. Its capacity is also in PBs. It is very expensive, and at a time, hundreds to thousands users can connect to supercomputer. It is mainly used in scientific research, weather forecasting, space exploration, etc. Param Yuva 2, Cray Titan, IBM Sequoia, these are some examples of supercomputer. Now, this seems that mainframe computers and supercomputers are almost similar. Yes, they look similar, but they have different purpose. A supercomputer is optimized for complicated computations, means it can do complicated calculations. ये आपकी कोई भी complicated से complicated problem को solve करने के लिए काम करता है. But at the same time, the mainframe computer is designed to handle tremendous amount of input, output, and storage. मतलब वो बेसिकली किस पे काम करता है कि बहुत सारे यूजर एक साथ उसको इनपुट दे रहे हैं, बहुत सारे यूजर्स एक साथ उससे आउटपुट ले रहे हैं और उस डेटा को उसको स्टोर करना है. Now, the purpose for building a supercomputer was problem specific. Like there are few specific problems in which we want the supercomputer to concentrate. ठीक है, जिनके लिए आपको बहुत ट्रेमेंडस कैलकुलेशन स्पीड चाहिए, जैसे कि वेदर फोरकास्टिंग. आप चाहते हो कि बहुत सारा कैलकुलेशन हो वेदर फोरकास्टिंग का, सो दैट इट कैन बी मोर एक्यूरेट. ओके, लाइक सपोज आपके पास you have to prepare 10 ice cream bowls. So what supercomputer does is it uses 10 processor so that the 10 ice cream bowls can have same ice cream at the same time. अगर सिंगल यूजर करेगा तो क्या होगा, पहले एक बॉल में डालेगा, फिर सेकंड में डालेगा, फिर थर्ड में डालेगा, बट द सुपर कंप्यूटर मेक्स इट वे फास्टर देन अ सिंगल यूजर कंप्यूटर. And obviously, the mainframe computers are very reliable and they are focused on handling input output by the users. Let's revise. The first generation computers used vacuum tubes. The second generation computers used transistors. The third generation computers use integrated circuits. The fourth generation computers used VLSI circuits, also known as microprocessor chips. The fifth generation computers are based on concept of artificial intelligence. Microcomputers are small computers whose CPU is a microprocessor that is contained on a single integrated circuit chip. Supercomputer uses multiple CPUs to work on a problem using the concept of parallel processing. Parallel processing is the simultaneous use of more than one CPU to execute a program. The chapter was clear to all of you. Please try the exercises given at the end of your chapter in the PDF provided to you. If you have any queries, contact me. Thank you.